Welcome, everyone, to the global gathering Shamanism for Inspired Action from Vision to Creation. This event is designed to share how shamanism can inspire actions and enrich our lives, our communities, and Mother Earth with deep love, compassion, gratitude, and joy. Shamans are the torchbearers of their inner light, taking actions motivated by a deep sense of purpose. Shamanism is a way to tap into creative inspiration that comes from within the spirit we are, that will lead us to take authentic steps towards what our hearts and souls desire most. We will discuss what's possible when the invisible realms are acknowledged and honored, when nature is loved and celebrated as a part of ourselves. We'll explore how surrendering to our helping spirits, to our ancestors, to the creative source can help support our action. Shamanism provides a space to deepen our inner knowledge so that new ideas, new thoughts, and pathways can emerge. So, in a time when it can be tempting to define ourselves solely through external concepts, your participation at this global gathering will inspire you to reconnect with your inner wisdom and to act in alignment with your spiritual source. And it is with gratitude and great joy that I welcome everyone to be part of this global gathering. I'm Celine Roche, I'm your host for this event. And today I'm very happy to introduce you to Anja Steensig. Anja, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm honored and blessed to be here and be part of this community.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to introduce you for those who don't know about you yet. Um, and also, what I'd like to add is even though you have a strong Nordic culture, inspiration, and tradition, you do not practice shamanism per se. However, you are very connected to your own source, your own nature. And I thought it was really, really interesting to listen to your practice and your faith, as it is very enriching for all of us practicing shamanism to nourish our spirituality and to be fed by it and to also feed it. So your work is really beautiful, and I thought it was very, again, um, interesting for us to learn about your path and what you have to share, and again, your faith. So I'm going to say a few words about you. So you're a Danish mystic, mediating God's love through writing, speaking, and mentoring. And for more than a decade, you've been one of the best known TV radio personalities in Denmark. You've been hosting your own talk show as well as almost every other kind of TV entertainment. And you were voted best female TV host during your career. So you also share with me that in 2011, you fell into a deep depression that changed your life forever. And after 6 months in painful darkness, you've re-entered the world completely transformed. So your heart has been blasted open, and you find yourself in a state of pure unconditional love, where you suddenly and powerfully saw everything from a perspective of love. And so at this point, you knew that you were no longer in charge of your own life, but a servant of something infinitely bigger. So you surrendered into the loving guidance you receive, and it took you a 7-year journey to learn and grow further into the experience and understanding of God expressed as love before you began passing on the wisdom that you received. So as I said earlier, you represent a new Nordic mystic approach to spirituality where everything but the pure and simple connection directly to God is stripped away and uncomplicated, undogmatic, and solely focused on how we can bring God's love more fully into our lives and into the world. So the simple and honest, non-religious spirituality in devoted service to God. So it's really fascinating, and I can't wait for you to share more about your devotion, your practice, your faith. And today you're going to talk about the path of surrender and allowing. Um, and I'm very glad you chose this title because it is about that. shamanism for inspired action from vision to creation. It's not about automatically doing what we know in the doing, but the being and letting ourselves receiving the information, which is a practice that is more self-loving. So thank you so much. Can you tell us what it means for you, the path of surrender and allowing? Can you share more about that start?
Yeah, what does it mean? Um, I a big part of my what opened up in me back in 2011 was a very deep knowing that everything is already there. You know, we are already who we came to be. So a spiritual path for me is a path of revealing and remembering. It's about, you know, um, embracing everything that stands between us and the truth of who we really are.
Mhm.
So for me, instead of this constant striving to become something or to get something, it was clear that the movement had to go the other way, that it was a leaning back instead of moving forward, a leaning back into who I was always meant to be and allowing myself to be that. Because I think that's actually one of the most difficult things, is just allowing ourselves to be.
Yes.
So that is the essence of that path. And a part of that is an understanding that I believe the meaning of life, our meaning of life, is to be who we are. That's
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
That's right. We are all, unique aspects of what I call God, what we can call spirit, source, creation. We are all a very unique aspect or a facet. And all we are asked to do is to be that unique facet of, of oneness. And and in my experience, when we allow ourselves to be that, life unfolds in the most miraculous ways. I I actually don't think that we have the capacity to mentally understand our own capacity, or to know where we ultimately can be of the best service or live the fullest life. So instead of, setting a target and trying to get there, the path I live and believe in is getting out of my own way, and allowing the life I was meant to live to unfold through me. And the way my life has unfolded these last years, I could never have, anticipated or imagined or visualized my way into. I had no clue that this was in store for me.
Yeah. And what I'd like to ask you is, because it's important to receive from your experience as being someone in the spotlight, being so visible, um, and to come back to center, to come back to who you are. Can you tell us more about this experience? This is quite a big change in your life. So, and you had to go through something really hard to realize all that, but it opened up something that is very authentic for you. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. No, I think we are helped and we are guided and we are pushed all the time. And that means that if we have strayed too far away from the tone that we were to play, being the facet of the oneness that was yours to be, if we have strayed too far from that, if we have forgotten too deeply, you know, life, God shakes you, you know. And I believe every life crisis is life or God coming in saying, remember who you are. And then it shakes us so that everything that is not aligned with who we came to be just shatters and falls off. And that is extremely painful because it is sometimes everything we believe in, everything we believe ourselves to be, all of our, you know, belief systems and identity. And, you know, I have had other life crises before that. I had gone through depression before. I had gone through stress, and all these things. And every time I had gone through a life crisis, what I did afterwards was just pick up the pieces as fast as I could to build myself a new armor, you know. And how can we get back to who we were as fast as possible, where what we are really receiving is an invitation to be in life in a different way, an invitation to return into the truth of who we are. And so this depression was really, really important in terms of this. It was the biggest gift I have ever received, because I was really stripped completely naked of everything I thought I knew to be true. And when I came out of that period, there was a knowing in me. When I was in this depression, it felt different than the others, because I had this weird, deep knowing that something beautiful would appear on the other side, that this was a transformational state. And so I prayed my way through the depression. I prayed every day that I would become gentler, that I would become wiser, and that I would become more loving. And even though coming out on the other side was painful in itself, because being in the world stripped completely naked, being able to feel everything and just being overwhelmed by the world, and that was hard. It was still very, very clear that something had changed. And it was very, very clear that I had come in contact with something that I did not want to lose again. So there was a decision, but I don't really know if I had a choice. I don't think I had a choice, but there was a decision not to go back, even though I had to spend a few years trying to figure out how to be in the world in this new, very raw and naked and very sensitive state of being. But the beauty of what had emerged was just, there was a lot of things, but the moment I truly realized the gift was one day I was walking in the street, and suddenly it was like a veil fell from my eyes, and I saw the beauty of everything and everyone, all the people in the street. This was in the middle of Copenhagen. Just suddenly they were so beautiful. And I felt like a mother to them all. I just wanted to, take care of them and make them feel how loved they were. And it lasted a few moments. But what I realized from that experience was that this was a place within me, that this was something that I could actually access, that every time I consciously decide, that veil can disappear, and my soul is able to recognize the soul of whomever I am in front of, or the world around me. And this was not a realization just on my behalf. It was a realization that this is who we are, And so that completely changed my life. And, I had no other choice but to just bring this news to everyone. Do you know who you are? Do you know what you're capable of? Because from this state of being, when we step into our soul and we see the world, experience the world from our soul, there's actually no one we are unable to love.
Yeah.
Or able to embrace. There is no darkness too dark to be embraced. There's no evil. There's only, the pain between, the pain that keeps you away or separated from the truth of who you are. That's it. Yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yes. Thank you so much. And thank you for, it's very moving, and I can relate. So thank you so much. And I'm sure that our audience, it resonates with everyone's heart, and it's very powerful. Thank you for sharing this, this past that you had. So thank you so much. And what I want to add to that is there a moment where you received, you express that you really had like a tipping point, you were in the street and you finally saw, if I can say, the truth, right? You saw truth to our life. And what, or rather, how did you come from, receiving and having the vision to, you shared afterwards, I want to share that with everyone. I want to tell, I want to, so this would be the creation, like you're creating this, that this is what my heart, my soul wants to share with the world. So can you tell us a little bit maybe about the process, how you, and I really get that it was instantaneous, but how can people bring, what resonate deeply within them, live through the experience, so then they can share it, right?
It has been a long journey. It has been a long journey. And it was not clear to me from the beginning how. I had the what. I knew that, okay, I have to share this somehow, but I had no idea how. And this was where my journey of surrender began, because instinctively I knew that this was out of my hands, in a way, that there was a path for me. So the big issue has really been becoming able to stop getting in the way of myself. And the way I have done it has really been through a lot of prayer, and a lot of very, very simple prayer that is actually just, thy will be done, not my will. but yours. Just show me. Show me how I am to be of service. Show me. And then becoming better and better and better to listen. And this has taken a lot of practice, and a lot of patience, because it was many years where I had no choice but to follow that path. But I didn't have any, money coming in or anything. I just had to really, really trust. So that prayer, thy will be done, not my will, but yours. Show me how, is really at the essence of that. And then practicing listening, being more and more in tune with my own inner compass, what instead of setting a goal, just knowing, okay, if it's aligned with my compass, that is, does this serve the truth I am to share? And also for me, I had to be part of my compass too. Does it give me a sense of freedom? And does this reach many of you? So that has been my compass. So at some point I set a compass. So every time I have doubts about, should I do this or should I do that? Is it aligned with my compass? And really spending time in contact with my heart, practicing the capacity to listen to the voice of my heart, distinguishing the voice of my heart from the voice of my head, voice of my fearful belly, So yeah, praying, listening, checking in. Is this aligned with the compass? Is it my head speaking? Is it my stomach speaking? Is it my heart speaking? Yeah.
Yeah. So this brings me to ask you about your faith, and how, even though you've expressed a lot about it, but faith is very important in shamanic practice, to have faith. Can you tell us how it is for you? You said that you prayed and you prayed. So how do you, what would you like to share about having faith?
That's a very, very big question to share about having faith.
Mm.
To me, I have to say, I would not know how to be here without faith. The way I practice faith is very, very, very simple. I don't really have practices or rituals, or to me, it's almost just like breathing. It is just a constant conscious being with God, with life, it is being aware that I am one with everything. So it is, walking in nature, just breathing nature. Sitting in prayer can actually just be breathing with God. There doesn't need to be any words. It is constantly seeking into a state of love which is what I call the presence of God. To be in the presence of God is to be in a state of love. Every time we feel love in any way, doesn't have to be, earth-shattering, blissful love. It can just be the feeling of gratitude or joy, or being moved by beauty, or being moved by laughing children, or whatever. Every time our hearts move, in my perspective, we are in the presence of God. So recognizing that is how I practice my faith, because my faith is that God is everything, love is everything. So just staying conscious, staying in that connection just by breathing.
I love what you said about the heart movement, right? Because inspiration is to take in a breath, right? Inspiration. And
Yes.
yeah, it's exactly. So, and then something move within us. So I really appreciate that you said that, particularly the heart. So something moved within us, moved our heart to act. And yeah, it's really beautiful. There's something else.
Oh, sorry.
No, please.
I was just inspired by what you said, because that is part two of that. That is, taking the inspired action.
Mhm.
That is what comes after listening. So there is the praying, the just being, the breathing with God, with life, the surrender, just making yourself available, allowing, and then listen so that you can take inspired action with what you suddenly know to be true,
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for adding. That's very
Because
important.
God doesn't have any hands. It's all up to us.
Yeah, yeah. To bring this to this reality. Yeah. And could you tell us more about how your culture, Nordic culture tradition inspire you into your work? How does it come and infuse um, your philosophy, if I can say?
I think I realized quite early on this path that what I teach and the way I see the world, the way I implement faith and God and love is in essence a very Nordic way, mainly because of its simplicity. If you look at the Danish design, you will find that everything unnecessary is stripped away. There's no ornamentation, there's no decoration. Walk into a Danish home and you will find that all the walls are white in almost every home. So there's a stripping away everything that is not absolutely at the essence, because we have this tendency to I think to overcomplicate the connection with God. No, we don't need a mediator. We don't need a priest or a guru or heavy books or rituals. And it's not to say anything bad about it, because they absolutely serve a purpose, and they can be beautiful in many ways, but it's not absolutely necessary, because it's right here. It's right here. And we have the capacity to be with God whenever we choose to, whenever we want to. It's right here. It's just a matter of taking a step to one side and watching reality from a different perspective. That's it. Then we are in the presence of God. So, and I feel that is a very Nordic way of being with God. And then I also, I I have this feeling. I was in Norway this summer, and I just felt such a deep kinship. Scandinavian countries, they are different countries, but still there is very deep familiarity. And I just had that feeling of this Nordic energy just emanating from the ground. It's like a push and a feeling that there is something in this very, very simple, non-dogmatic, no bullshit, no extra excess decoration way that really needs to, or that has something to offer to the rest of the world. There is also this whole eye level way of being with each other. We do not have the tendency to put people on pedestals. You will find the Danish crown. No, he's not a crown prince anymore. He's a king. You will find him bicycling around Copenhagen with his children, and so we don't have that. You are more than and you are less than. Not in the same way as many other places in the world. And this also translates into spirituality and to recognizing that we are all equally valuable, that we are all each other's teachers. And, the spiritual path is not about becoming special. There's also this tendency to, oh, now I know this, so I am more special than you, and that is not really what it's about. It's about recognizing, remembering that we are one. So I am honored to be a voice for, a more Nordic way of being in spirit.
Yeah, it's inspiring, and I think we can learn so much about your culture, because there's a lot of things that we think are necessary and they're not. And so, as you said, as we uncluttering our lives, from a materialistic but also spiritual point of view, both, this could be a simple solution to a lot of issues that we have right now. Maybe it's more simple than we think it is. Mm. Mm.
Yeah, we are very, very good at
Yeah, yeah. And also, there was something you mentioned earlier. I mean, everything you're saying is very inspiring, and you definitely share this very peaceful energy, and I think that our audience will feel it as they listen to you. Do you have a suggestion for our audience if they want to birth something? We all have inspiration. We all receive, that we listen now, but there are things that are really present throughout our life. Do you have recommendation about how, to take the time to listen and then how to birth the project that they envision? Is there anything you'd like to share about that?
I think, first of all, we need to be very, very patient. And that is really difficult, because when you feel inspired and you see something and oh, this could be so beautiful, it can be very difficult to be patient. But that's a big part of what we need to be. It will unfold in its own time. And then, letting go of the exact expression of it. Because to me, at least, when I receive an inspiration, and what I receive basically is the essence of the inspiration. It's not necessarily exactly how it's going to look eventually. So what I would always recommend is, pray, listen, and allow yourself to really take one step at the time, and letting go of where that step will lead you. So you do not take this step because you want to go there. You take this step because this is what you are inspired to take. And then when you are there, you listen again. And maybe the next step is in that direction. And say, oh my God, I thought I was good. No. It is really a surrender into, okay, I have no idea where this is going to take me, but I will dare to take one step at a time. And another thing I really want to speak to is the fear, because fear will always, always, always arise when you are taking a new path, when you're walking in a new direction, or when you're doing something that feels a little bit bigger than what you were used to. Fear will always be there. Fear is not a sign that you should not go that way. Fear is just your system saying, this, I'm not used to this. Don't you think that we should just stay where we are? So what we need to do is to embrace our fear. We need to say, okay, I hear you. I see you. I recognize that this is terrifying for you. So if you just come into my embrace, and I will comfort you, and let's just take one small step and see how that goes. We don't want to ignore our fear, because this is a relevant part of us, really terrified. So we need to, take our fear by the hand and then just say, okay, can we take just one step so the fear can, relax a little bit. Yeah. We can walk this path together. That is what fearlessness is. Fearlessness is not about not feeling fear. It's about journeying with our fear.
Yeah. Acting upon it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the fear also, do you think the fear can come from, and I mentioned that at the beginning, but I think I'd like to reiterate it. Do you think the fear can come also a lot from comparison? Because there's so much, we are bombarded with information of, a little bit the contrary of what you were saying about your culture, about being simple and being, in a peaceful bubble, kind of, but we are bombarded, there is information all the time. So we have so many things that we may want, that we may need, and as you said, really, really fast. Um, um, anyway, how can we listen also to fear by being focused on ourselves within, inside, versus, going for external concepts and
fear stems from so many different things. So many different things. It stems from our comparing ourselves with others. It stems from our upbringing and what we have been told is right and what is not right, and what we should do and what we shouldn't do. It stems from how can this be my identity when I'm used to being that instead? It stems from basically all fear stems from, will I still be loved? Will they love me if I am this? Will they love me if I dare to walk that? And that is what comparison and all that also is about. Will they love me? So what I focus very much on in my work and how I help people is connecting to the presence of love within us. Because when we really truly realize the capacity of the love that is already present, and that it is, you know, even when we fall in love with someone, the love we feel is still love itself. It is still the presence of God. It's not something that they give us. So when they are taken out of the equation, we can actually still feel that love, even though they're not there. So really understanding that, really allowing that to fill us up, creates, the fertile ground that we truly need to surrender to our path and to allow ourselves to be, and to, dare to follow our inspiration.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for helping us remember that, the power of love that we have within, and how also to share it is feeding back, self-love. So there's a beautiful dance there. Thank you so much. And, it's been really wonderful to listen to your wisdom and your path to spirituality, and how you know live with that, every day. So thank you so much. And before, because you offer to well, can I call it like a practice to uh, meet again with this inner self. Before we do that, and thank you so much, I like to share about the free gift that you share, that is available on the website of the conference, and it's called Heart Healing Meditation. Do you want to say a few words about that before we go into?
It is a guided healing where we just, reconnect with our hearts, and we embrace the parts that are, blocking the way for us to really truly connect with that capacity that is there. So it is, healing to me is not something that, I'm not healing you, but I can guide you into healing yourself and healing the stuff that is standing in the way, by embracing it, not by, not by fixing, not by stripping them off, by embracing. So, yeah.
Thank you. That is really a beautiful, beautiful gift for our audience. So thank you so much. And now, if you'd like to start your
Yes.
practice.
My little guidance here.
Yeah.
So just close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just allow yourself to melt. Melt into your seat and into this moment. Just take a few of these breaths, just melting into your body, becoming relaxed and present right here and right now. Then just allow your attention to sink from your head down into your chest, sinking down beneath your thoughts, down beneath the surface. Just sink down into the softness and the silence of your heart space. Now I want you to feel how roots are growing from your feet deep down into the earth, connecting you anchoring you in a solid grip, connecting you with the care of Mother Earth. And just allow these roots to grow strong, firmly into the ground. And then just feel how you can receive nourishment through these roots. Just breathe in, breathing this nourishment, this life force, this love from Mother Earth. Breathe it up through your roots, up through your feet, and just let it fill up your body. Breathing it in. Breathing in the love of the earth. And now feel how branches are growing from your upper body, from your head, from your arms. Branches that are reaching to every side and to the sky. And feel how you, through these branches, can breathe in the light, the presence of love from the entire universe. And the universe beyond the universe, and the universe beyond the universe. Just breathing in the nourishment of God. Allowing it to fill you up as you breathe in the presence of love. Lighting you up, blending in with the juices of life force from the earth. Recognizing that right here, you are the point where matter and spirit meets. You are the point where eternity and this moment meets. You are the point where life unfolds in every color, so just sit for a moment and breathe the presence of love within you, allowing yourself to receive from the earth and from the sky with every inhalation, receiving. Receive. Just allowing every cell of your body to be absolutely filled with the presence of the light of love. Now I want you to feel into the aspect of love that is strength. Feel the strength of the love within you. Feel how it straightens your back and broadens your shoulders. Just feel strength and feel into the aspect of love that is courage. What does courage feel like? The courage to lean into that strength, the courage to be vulnerable and to show your truth to the world. Feel that courage, strength and courage. And feel the aspect of love that is dignity. The dignity of your inner majesty. The dignity of knowing that you are representing love itself. That you are yourself a majesty of love and a servant of love. Infinitely big and so small, so small. Majesty and servant. So lift your head in dignity and courage and strength. Constantly breathing in the presence of love within you, the essence of your being, your majesty at service. Feel how powerful this love is, and feel how powerful you are, rooted in this love. Knowing that no matter how strong, how powerful, how majestic you are, you will never be able to hurt a living soul when you are rooted in love. Breathing in the knowing that you are of service to the highest good of all. Feeling the strength and the softness, the compassion, the courage and the vulnerability, the majesty and the servant. Breathe it all in and see how it pours from you as you give with every exhalation. Receiving as you inhale, giving as you exhale. Just being the majesty and the servant of love. Receive and give just by breathing. Letting go of who and what you are giving to, trusting that the love that pours from you, that streams from you as a light from a lamp, will reach anyone who needs to be reminded that they too are loved. Breathe. Then take a deep breath in. And gently return, inviting your inner majesty to come with you out into the world. And when you are ready, you can gently open your eyes.
Thank you so much, Anja. Thank you. This was a beautiful gift to resume what you've shared with us today. So I'm going to let the audience be filled with what you share with us. Thank you so much, and thank you to our audience for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.